like to bring in Texas Republican Congressman Keith Self. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us. Let me just start out by asking, are you surprised that this day actually came?
No, not at all. You've been telling us it's coming for at least a week and more. We've been expecting it. And frankly, I think this is a sad day for the American people because what we're seeing here is the culmination of the weaponization of the federal government against citizens. It stems not only from the 8 years that your previous person testified to against Trump. It also comes from January the 6th. And I would be happy to tell the story of the four ladies from my district if you would care to hear it. But no, we've been expecting this day. And I will say, let the games begin. Politics is a blood sport, and what you're going to see is this was a political event. It will continue, and we're going to have a tremendously exciting primary season between now and March in Texas, March of next year.
You've said that this indictment is politically motivated persecution by DA Alvin Bragg. If this is not to hold former President Trump accountable for allegedly breaking the law, then what do you think the motivation is here?
Oh, he campaigned on saying, I will indict President Trump. The political motivation is he's simply, like all of us try to do, he's simply responding to his constituents, the promises that he made to his constituents. So today is a fulfillment of his campaign promise to his constituents that I will indict President Trump. So this, as I say, it's a political event. This is his promise to his constituents that he has now fulfilled.
You supported former President Trump before you saw the indictments. Is there anything that would have made you think, well, maybe this wasn't politically motivated?
Absolutely not. I mean, I have four ladies from my district who went to January 6th. Three of them posted on social media. They got visited by the FBI. One did not post on social media. She did not get visited. They were nowhere near the Capitol. They simply went to the National Mall. And that's the story of conservatives today. We're censured in the media are now we're weaponized against by the federal government. So this is certainly a sad day for the nation, but we've seen it coming. And it's the culmination of several years of the rogue federal government aiding and abetting and now weaponized against conservatives.
All right, well, humor me just for a moment if I can just read here. It says the allegations or accusations here that Trump repeatedly and fraudulently falsified New York business records to conceal criminal conduct that hid damaging information from the voting public during the 2016 presidential election, orchestrated a scheme with others to influence the 2016 presidential election, violated election laws. Do you think that any of that is criminal?
This is verbiage written by the DA that said he was going to indict him. This is kind of like the headlines when a man rescues a young girl from an African lion. The headline changes to "Man steals breakfast from African immigrant." That's exactly what you just read. This is the verbiage of the left, and I'll admit we conservatives normally lose the verbiage battle. But that is very dramatic. That could be a reading for a play on Broadway. So that's what you just read.
But I'm just trying to get an understanding. Is your problem the verbiage, or do you think that if the verbiage were true, that it would be illegal?
Well, you got to remember, this is business records we're talking about here. Falsifying business records. This DA had to really search to find a low-level felony for the first time indictment ever of a U.S. president. While Joe Biden, his phone call to on Ukraine to fire the investigator, the prosecutor that was investigating his son, or he would withhold $1 billion, was not considered anything by the mainstream media, yourself, your station included. Yes, we have a two-tier system of justice in this country. Yes, we conservatives are weaponized against. Yes, this is simply dramatic reading of some low-level statute that he found. And like I say, let the games begin, because this is not over. Donald Trump is a fighter. He will fight this, and it's going to be very entertaining going forward.
I'm just trying to understand, though, do you think that this is all just made up, or do you think that it could be true, but he shouldn't be held accountable for it?
Well, like I said earlier, politics is a blood sport today. Of course, they're going to try to dampen down any negative information.
But I'm just asking your opinion. Do you think that he should be held? I'm just asking. It's just a yes or no, sir.
One of the three that you've referenced was not true.
One of the three that I referenced is not true. So suggesting that the other two are potentially true?
I have no idea. We're going to find out during this trial.
Okay. Former President Trump is set to speak later tonight, as you know. What message do you expect to hear from him after the events of today?
I expect to hear a fighter.
You expect to hear a fire? Is that right?
A fighter.
A fighter.
He will come out as the fighter that he has been for the American people since he got elected in 2016. We tend to focus on his personality. We really ought to focus on the policies. Why do we have inflation today? Why do we have such a weak reputation around the world? These are the issues that we really need to be focused on. Donald Trump had everything going smoothly with policies, and yet all we focus on are his personalities. So look at the policies today in 2023 as opposed to the policies when he left office, and I think you'll see a dramatic difference.
Congressman Keith Self, we appreciate you coming on the show.
You bet. Thank you.